conversation I've been having with my wife lately about some of her own relationships or relationships she's aware of, even outside of her, is this idea of forgiveness when someone close to you has hurt you, or maybe you're coaching a friend or spouse or something like that. What are the implications of real forgiveness in like deeply traumatic situations, relationship situations? Can I forgive someone? So let's say Ben, who's filming us today, let's say Ben hurt me real bad emotionally. He said some really mean things. He committed some egregious sin toward me. Our relationship is quite affected. Can I forgive him, but never move forward in trusting him again as a friend?
The question's kind of like asking it, have you stopped cheating on your income tax? I mean, it's not as easy as yes and no. Yes, we can forgive, but to forgive is a serious thing. Because if you're forgiving, we'll use you and Ben. If you're forgiving Ben of the pain that you've done to him.
Well, it was him doing it to me, to be clear.
Yeah, he's done it to you. What you're saying is, I am going to bear the consequences of what he did. So I cannot hold it against him anymore.
Okay.
If I'm going to forgive, I'm taking the consequences, and I'm enduring that pain, and I am turning him loose.
Okay.
Now you can make the choice to do that. You can know it's right to do that, and you can make the choice to do it. And the grace of God will empower you to do it, but it doesn't always happen real quickly.
Okay.
And it should not be taken lightly. It shouldn't be like Ben walks in and goes, yeah, I'm sorry I did that. And you go, never mind, no problem. That's BS.
Yeah.
That ain't forgiveness. That is treating it like we wish it hadn't happened and we're going to try to go back, and you never are.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you don't trust again, because you never did deal with it.
I see.
But if you take forgiveness as seriously as it is, it's like I'm saying to you, I'm turning you loose.
Mm-hmm.
I will never think of you as the villain in this again. I am taking that on myself. That's how Jesus forgave us.
Yeah. Okay.
So it says, forgive as you've been forgiven.
Yeah.
So if you forgive that way, then you are free then to let him earn his trust back. If you don't do it that way, he can't earn his trust back because you still hold on him.
So I guess that's getting to the heart of my question. If you really forgive them, trust still needs to be reestablished.
Trust has to be reestablished because forgiveness and trust are two different things. I mean, they're related, obviously.
Yeah.
But trusting something that's untrustworthy is foolish. There's a proverb for that as well. You know, I mean, we don't know why Ben did that. Maybe he's not even aware of a weakness that's causing him to do that. And so for me to trust him while he doesn't even know that, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be harder because it's like you got two failures. So trust is, one thing we say is, okay, then maybe I wasn't watching enough on the first one. This time I'm watching. Not, you gotta appease me. You got to pay me back. He's not paying back.
Yeah.
But he does have to show that he's trustworthy.
Yeah.
I mean, people who've have had to deal with addictions in their family and whatever, you can't trust an addict. They lie. That's what they do.
Right.
And so they come back and go, I'm sorry, I did it. It's like, okay, I'm willing to initiate the forgiveness deal.
Yeah.
But I don't know what caused you to start that addiction anyway, to begin with. And I need to see some help there.
So could I truly forgive Ben? Like really forgive him, like where Jesus would come down here and say, no, I can tell you've forgiven him. And still say, I'd still like to not be friends anymore. I forgive you, but you go on and have your life and I'm going to go on and have mine. I mean, if you break down on the side of the road, I'll help you, but I don't have any interest in relationship continuing. Would that then by definition mean I haven't actually forgiven him?
I would say if you were friends before and you're doing that, you probably haven't forgiven him.
Okay.
That's just my judgment.
Yeah.
If it's just somebody you don't like, I mean, somebody you don't like hurt you, wouldn't be Ben.
Yeah.
Somebody that you didn't want to be friends with necessarily, he wasn't somebody God placed in your life anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to prove you've forgiven by being friendly to everybody.
That's a good point. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I feel like we're getting somewhere.
Okay, but if I'd say if you are friends and this has happened and you really are giving him a chance to prove and whatever, I'd say if you go, I don't want to be friends with him anymore, you probably have not forgiven him.
Okay.
You're making him pay.
Okay. I wanted to get into this because I think it seems to surface itself in, Christian environments, church environments where, we're commanded to forgive one another. But I think you're hitting on the point is that the idea of forgiveness has in many ways been cheapened.
Yeah.
Where, sin has been cheapened. Our friend Tullian talks about that a lot whenever people accuse him of being a proponent of cheap grace. His quick response is, well, you're a proponent of cheap law. You're not fairly recognizing the real demands of the law and the real price that was paid for your failure to uphold the law.
Yeah.
In the shed blood of Jesus, So what I was saying is an idea in Christian circles I've seen is that, well, you need to forgive and y'all need to move forward. I don't know. I do wonder if there's room and space to really forgive somebody in relationship, simply not continue in the fashion that it was previously. I would like to believe that that's possible, but I also hear your point in saying forgiveness is a really deep and serious thing, and the real repercussions of forgiveness are real reconciliation and restoration.
Yeah.
So
I would say in most cases, if not all, if real forgiveness takes place and real trust is built, the relationship will be better than it was before.
Yeah, it will be
not less.
new. It will be a new and different thing.
New deal.
Yeah.
New relationship.
Right. That's good. Yeah. That's a beautiful idea to explore. Is what forgiveness births is like new life.
Yeah.
Like that is a consequence in the good way of Christ's forgiveness of us, is that now new life is possible. His forgiveness didn't purchase for us being the same way we were.
Yeah.
It purchased for us new life and new birth. I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah. When Jesus forgave the woman, the sinful woman, and he said, "You're forgiven. Go and sin no more." He wasn't saying to her, "You better watch out now. Don't do that again. Make your life more narrow, more suppressed."
Yeah.
No, he was saying, with this forgiveness, you got a new deal.
He was assigning new identity to her whenever he brought
and new power.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't think I'll ever have all that fully figured out. Shocker, I know, but I hear people talk about that. Like we have some friends that are dealing with some infidelity stuff, and she wants to forgive him, and he's obviously begging for forgiveness, but there's such woundedness there that it's like, how do we move forward? How do we move on? If you've proven such egregious unfaithfulness to me, yeah, I forgive you, but I can't. How do you move forward? Again, we haven't even talked about the husband-wife expression of that. We're just talking about a couple buddies so far. But how would that express itself in a marriage?
Well,
Because that feels like another level. than just me and Ben being buddies.
Well, it is another level because you and Ben are buddies, but y'all don't have a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
With your wife, you got a covenant.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've broken that covenant, then there needs to be, a kind of recognition of what damage has my sin done and the owning of that.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, you want people to grovel in their sin? No, if you can get it to sin, you can be forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it to sin, you're not forgiven.
Yeah.
This whole deal, show them a little grace. You're not showing people grace by not dealing with the issue.
Yeah.
Like, no, you broke covenant with me.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you break covenant with me? Did you disrespect me? Yes, I disrespected you. Why did you disrespect me? Because I loved myself more than that. Why? So you got to deal with all that kind of stuff, and then finally you can say, I forgive you for all that.
Yeah.
But if you don't own it, you can't experience the forgiveness, even though the grace is there, the forgiveness is available. You have to own it before you can get forgiveness.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think husbands and wives, sometimes there's so much pain. It's like, let's don't talk about it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have dear friends that, he lived a wild life for a while. He was unfaithful to her several times. She never didn't even know how many times. And finally she just came and said, look, let's just start over. I don't want to know anything you've ever done. We'll start over. Now, to their credit, they made it, but there was lots of rough times, lots of doubts, and is he going back and whatever.
Because it never got dealt with.
Yeah, so it would have been a lot better for him to say, okay, what do you want to know?
Mm-hmm.
My life's an open book.
Yeah.
And what was wrong with me that I would think that way, and why would I do that kind of stuff? And own it, and then she could say, okay, I know now, and I forgive.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's hope-giving to consider. Hopefully my friends can watch this, and I can't identify them on here, but hopefully they'll watch it. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam here with Kerygma Ventures. Listen, we're so glad that you've been enjoying the content we've been providing here on YouTube, Instagram, podcasts, wherever you consume podcasts. Many of you may know, some of you may not know, we provide all of the video and audio content that we do for free so that we never have to charge for it. Somebody like you can access it anytime free of charge. The reason we're able to do that is because people like you who have been blessed by the content or encouraged by it or transformed by the message of the gospel that you've heard from Kerygma Ventures have said, you know what? I want to participate financially with what's going on there. So I'm asking you right now, as humbly and honestly as I can, will you join us by being a monthly supporter, an investor in what we're doing here at Kerygma Ventures? We're incredibly grateful for those of you who are already joined with us in that work, and we'd love for more of you to join us if God puts that on your heart. So I'm inviting you now to do that. Hope you continue to enjoy the content. Thanks.